Kia ora, and welcome to SubPar Devlog 3. SubPar is a casual puzzle game about mini-golf that I'm making in the Unity game engine. This devlog I'm planning on fleshing out the level progression system. I plan on splitting the levels into different stages. Each stage will have 10 to 20 levels and its own theme. As well as each level in the stage being harder than the last, each successive stage will have a general higher difficulty. I'd also like each stage to have a few unique mechanics, but I haven't yet fleshed this idea out. The theme of the first stage is just regular mini-golf. It will serve as an introduction to the mechanics and the systems that the player will interact with in the game. Here, I've created probably the most basic level you could, just the ball, the ground, and the hole. I've had to make the hole bigger than in the playground shoots, as I want the flagpole to be collidable, and otherwise you wouldn't actually be able to get the ball in the hole. I've also set up a basic level complete trigger so that the game knows once you've won the level. I've drafted up the first few levels, each getting a little bit harder and adding a new mechanic to the game. So here you can see this is level 3, we've got a slope. 4 introduces the object moving along a fixed path. 5 has objects that you can push over, and then 6 has a moving platform. Now this introduced some problems, or it surfaced some problems with the way I'm handling friction. So we can see, if I were to place the player on here, it doesn't really move. The way I'm doing friction is I just slow it down to a stop, which is not quite correct when it's on an object that's moving. There are 2 parts to getting this working. One is doing all the calculations for the friction relative to the speed of the object that the ball is sitting on, rather than the absolute world zero speed. The second is applying any acceleration to the object the ball is touching to the ball itself, so that when the object changes direction, the ball will seem to stick there. So that I can actually navigate through the levels, I've set up a basic placeholder menu. It's split into different sections, one for each stage, and you can scroll horizontally between them. And then on each page there's a whole bunch of levels. See, if I just duplicate one of these buttons, so you can actually scroll up and down. Just a placeholder. The original plan for the UI was to go with a more classic mobile game sort of thing, like this one on the left here. But I got thinking and I realised I could make it fit the game theme a lot better and actually make it like a scorecard. And so each stage would have a separate scorecard and you could swipe between them, and instead of scrolling down just a list of buttons, it would actually be entries on the card. So here it is. Still very much using placeholder art. There's going to be a lot more work done to it, but this is more of a concept, a proof of concept of how I want it to feel. So now that I can actually navigate the levels, I've set up a test Pirate Cove stage to try and nail the theme and the feeling of it. So here we can see a little bit of moving water, a boat. This is not going to be the louder level because it's just a copy of the first local park level, but it's just to get the theme and I quite like it. And then I finally set up a temporary game over UI with retry and a next level button. And that's a wrap. Bit of a messy devlog, but got through some pretty important ideas, important systems, and I am happy with where it is now. Hope you tune in next time.